Well, this is another last minute one. Semi-Pro just let me know that he was arranging his match with Jose, and this is a one-loss side match. The room should be going up any second. It's a one-loss side match between josemacuen from Spain and Semi-Pro from England. Race to 11, and in fact it should be going up in about the next 30 seconds or so, maybe a bit longer, maybe a minute, but hopefully I can get this match in before I go to bed. It's happened at the wrong time for me, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, there's another new name. I don't recognise that name. Good evening. I don't recognise it as a Virtual Pool 4 name. The room was supposed to go up at 20 past the hour, and I make it 20 past the hour, so any second I'm desperate for this to start, to get it going. Right, let's get rid of the chat. Right, good evening chaps, welcome. I'm still trying to get organised here. Well, that room was supposed to go up at 20 past, I'm sure that's what it said on the bracket, and well, it still hasn't appeared, at least not on my screen. It's not. There we go. It's up now. I'm going to dive straight in, get the cloth colour changed if I can. Right, settings. Well, Bill, if you're still there, Bill, I watched that match and I'm gutted for you. I'm absolutely gutted. And they're lagging for break. We're going to miss that while I mess about with this. That was a horrible way to lose a final rack, I have to say that. And the great camera work meant that we lost the 9 ball. We didn't see it going in. Anyway, to the matters in hand, we have Jose breaking off in the first rack. Again, I'm going to remind everybody that's watching, not that you probably need reminding, but it is alternate break, so important. There are no jump cues, so it is really important to make the most of any chances you get to punish your opponent. You must just copy and paste that sentence stub, because it's the same thing every time. Well, I've handed out the warning to Stubb. I was asked to pass a message on to him. He's been given the message, and he wants to get that match arranged at a reasonable time. So on paper, Semi-Pro is the favourite to win this for a few reasons. He's certainly the more skillful player between the two, and he's more familiar with this size of table than Jose is. Jose's much more familiar around the snooker table than he is playing 9 ball, and it's all going to be down to the amount of errors that Jose is going to make, and he's going to make them. It's just a question of whether he can cut them down to a minimum. I was just saying to Bill there, Moz, that was a horrible way to lose a rack, and not only to lose a rack, but to lose a match. That was absolutely horrible. And we didn't see the 9 ball going in. So there is just enough, I think, to squeeze that 2 ball in. Just enough. I think he can get it fairly sweet, but he's going to be running up the table. No, well, obviously didn't think he could, but these are the type of mistakes I'm just talking about. Jose needs to cut that out. And Semi-Pro will just pick him off here. Bit like a vulture sitting in a perch, just waiting in the mistake and ready to pounce. Now the problem ball is going to be the 7 ball on that left rail. Well, that'll be a good match as well, between Larry and Inspector Don. At some point Larry's going to take my advice and unplug that mouse and throw it in the nearest bin, and get even a cheap crappy mouse. He will fare a lot better with one of them than he will with that rollerball mouse. I will say that until I'm blue in the face, until he eventually listens. In fact, I hope Larry's mouse falls apart, and that way he's forced to buy a new one and there are no more of these rollerballs mouses available. The Semi-Pro getting tactical, a nice safety, an easy kick, and of course the problem for Jose here is he's more than likely going to bring the 7 ball into play with this, so he has to be careful. He should just play the roll up to it. If he plays the roll up to it, he's not going to disturb the 7 a great deal. Well, that is okay, and that's where you have to use your head in the game. You've got to be fully aware of what you're doing. Well, Larry swears by it, but I still think he doesn't have as good a touch as he could have if he had a normal mouse. On a rollerball mouse, you don't have the best of touch. Larry's used to it because he's played with it a lot, but I think he loses some shots because of that mouse more than anything. Well, Jose again, I don't know, the angle isn't good from there. Well, he's managed to chip it. How's his luck? Well, his luck is no good, and this time he should pay the price. There's really no reason that Semi-Pro shouldn't take this out. Now he just needs to make sure he goes through far enough here to get nice and straight, or just off angle on this 8 ball, and that will do. Welcome everybody. It's a last minute thing, this one. Oh well, there's a mistake, and that's a bonus for Jose. Can he take advantage of it? And that's where, again, the shoes on the other foot. Jose has to take what chances he can get if he's going to push Semi-Pro in this match. And that's a good shot. Well, there's a surprise. It was looking all too easy for Semi-Pro for this first rack, and well, Jose's pinched it, and more importantly, he's managed to win that first rack on his break. Well, ball in the break. Now there is a billiard from the 3 onto the 9. Now does the 3 go? No, the 3 doesn't go, so if he can run past the 4, which I think he has done, maybe not, I don't think, has he? Yes, he has. Just enough. Now he can play the billiard onto the 9. If he runs through far enough, he actually wants to go right side of this 3. He needs to go about here to this point. If I can get my doodle thing to work properly, he needs to try and play it from here. Well, he might still be able to do it, but it's maybe a bit tight now. He's going to have to hit that 3 ball, half ball maybe, I don't know. Oh, he's played it sweet, nice and gentle, and it's all square. And I thought it was Jose, and it's semi-pro. That shows you I'm falling asleep, guys. I'm going already. This was a bad idea, starting this at this time of night. I get excited and then I lose track of who's at the bloody table. But it was a good way to get out though. It was always on the billiard onto the 9. I think Semi was trying to be cute there. But look at these balls, the way they're set up. Again, there's one problem ball, we all know where that is. Right in the middle diamond in the top rail. And Jose can cut this into the middle, he can drop it in and just drop up to the right past that 9 ball. He's got the natural angle to do it, he doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball, he's bound to just run down there to the right side. Well, this is going to take care of what would have been the problem ball, and well, the rest is just about taking your time, use your shot clock and take that wee bit longer just to make sure you're not going to do something numpty-ish. That's a new word. That's a new word in my vocabulary for VP4. Well, these matches, with it being alternate break, for a player like Jose who is not the favourite, it's all about staying with his perceived stronger opponent, and the deeper into the match that he can stay with semi-pro, the greater the nerves play the part. And we all know you get that lucky run of the ball, things can happen, strange things can happen. None stranger than what happened last night, or what I saw this afternoon when I watched the replay of Bill's match with Moz. And he has to get lucky here, and it ain't going to happen this time. I thought I would, I had the idea of doing this all night, just to keep flying around the table, just to annoy people. Like that, and then I decided against it. I thought it might be a new revelation. Well, this is into the blind pocket, as they say, but it's going in clean, and semi-pro is going to get himself into the lead. Yeah, those Australian guys, they've got a lot to learn, haven't they, Tin? Australian. Yeah, those guys, they got a lot to learn, so they do. Fair dinkum. Crack open another can of the Fosters, mate. That's some sort of an Australian accent there, Tin. Bit like that. whereas those guys were talking a bit like that. Not quite Cockney, but something down from the London way, you know what I mean? That's a bit more Cockney than the way Moz was talking, you know what I mean? Well, Semi-Pro is looking reasonably good. He's going to have to gently push this 5 in, but he doesn't want to chicken out on it if he's going to try and hold for this 6 ball. Yep, he's doing the right thing, and if he misses a 9 he's okay, and he hasn't. Well, now he's going to have to pick one out. Well, I would imagine the Isle of Wight accent wouldn't be anything unusual. So you've got this sort of the Judd Trump accent on the west side of England over the Bristol way. And then you've got this sort of Norfolk accent. Isn't it a bit like that over Norfolk, over that side of the country? Bit like that, sort of yokely type accent. Well, already, if you're Jose, the alarm bell should be ringing. He's now trailing. There's a gap. The break goes back to Jose. Needing a ball and needing a shot. Well, the 9 ball's gone in, the 7's gone in. 9 ball gets respotted, and of course, he's got no shot in the 1. Can he see it? No, he can't, so he's looking to push. Now, the safest place I could see would be somewhere up in that right corner. There's a sort of a long odds chance of a cut to the left hand corner, but you're leaving some bait for your opponent. And now, of course, Semi-Pro can either play from there or put Jose back in. He might even play a billiard onto the 8 here. Nope, he's looking to keep it tight, and that's another good shot. Now, what have we got here? Well, I don't know whether he's got an angle to try and kick off that rail, but there is a combo. I don't know whether he's looked at it, but there's a dead set combo onto the 6 ball if he can clatter that 1 ball onto the 9. I think I would be having a blast here myself. There we go, and what a bonus, all 3 at once. I wish I had the replay function. What a shot that was. Well, Jose must be listening to the commentary. He's listening to tactical advice here. He's cheating, and Semi-Pro has broke off in rack number 6. 9 ball again has gone in. 9 ball gets respotted. And this time, let's have a quick look at that one. Well, Semi can see most of the 1, but not enough to make the pot. Again, he's played a good safety, although I think there's an edge there, and Jose can get a wee bit of distance here. Well, it was, if you could get that 1 ball sweet onto the 9, then there was only one outcome, the 6 ball going in, but we had the 6 ball go in, the 9 ball go in, the 1 ball go in, and it was rack over. So Jose's back to within 1. He's managed to get it fairly safe, but there's a good barrier of covering balls here for the safety. Semi hasn't found it. Now, if that 6 ball wasn't there, that 9 ball might be a bank. And it could possibly have been a double bank. I think the 1 might cut past the 9 into that top right. It's a good shot, but no luck, has he? Oh, he's okay. I'm forgetting about the 2 ball. Yeah, he's on the 2. Oh, he's overcut it. And again, it's those shots where you need to just steady yourself down, take that wee bit longer, have a look at the angle before you dive in. I'm sure it's a 45-second shot clock, or at least something like that, which is a lot of time to give you that wee bit more just to think about what you're doing. And again, semi-pro using the cover, and this time, well, again, it's not a difficult hit. Somewhere just south of that middle pocket on the right, and the 2 ball's quite a big target. Even if you hit the rail to the right of it, you're bound to kick the 2. And he's, well, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was nearer the middle pocket for that angle. But Jose has given semi-pro his reward this time for his safety. Now can Semi run the table? See, this is a bit awkward straight away from this 2 onto the 3, because again there's balls in the way if you go the wrong side, and that's why he's sort of debating how to find a line to get to this 3 ball. The obvious one is to try and come down the table, but it's very easy to run into something. You know, if he goes there to there, he's got a shot in the 3. Now, oh dear, well, disaster. Absolute and total disaster on that shot. He was in 2 minds, because as I say, there was a dilemma in how you get good on the 3, and that's an unforced error by semi-pro. Now, how good is Jose going to be at taking these out? Very important, and it gives him the chance to get back all square. And let's be honest, once he pots this 6, there shouldn't be any problem. Just roll that 8 ball into the middle. As long as he's got the right angle, he can drop through onto the 9. So in actual fact, he wants to finish sort of near the bottom rail here. Let's have a look at that. That's pretty good. It's all about just running it through gentle. And he could have been a wee bit more gentle and getting through another inch just for comfort, but it should go in, and he'll be back all square. Well, we've had mistakes from both players, and it's cost them both. We're back all square. 3 racks all. Jose again has come up dry. The cut is there. Where's the cue ball going? Oh dear. Well, I think these pockets have got magnets in them for semi-pro when he's playing a shot, because the cue ball's just finding its way straight in. And look at this table. This table is wide open, and it's only going to be something silly here that's going to prevent Jose from getting in front. Well, the problem we can see will be from the 5 to the 6. 6 goes into all 4 pockets at the bottom half of the table. Right middle, left middle, bottom left, bottom right. So he's got fairly good odds of having a shot. Now, he doesn't want to scratch in the right middle pocket here though, because there's a chance that that is on. Oh, well, he's well avoided that, but look what's happened. And again, if he goes for the thin cut, big likelihood of a scratch. Is he going to take the risk? He's not really got an awful lot of options, only been able to see about half a ball, and maybe not even that, just about a third. Yeah, scratch was always on. Again, you've got to listen to that wee voice in your head when you go to play those shots, because the wee voice in your head is telling you the scratch is on. But he didn't really have many other choices though, that was the problem. And immediately the advantage is handed back to Semi-Pro. Now that is just, again, I don't know whether he's, how's that look? See, it's not the perfect angle in this 8 ball. He's had to stun into it just to get across. And now, oh, Semi's got the advantage. He's now got his break in rack number 8, looking for a ball and a shot. And I don't think he got anything. Nope. 1 ball is on. It's probably going to be the 2-7 combo. The 4 ball does go, provided you can get there from the 3. And the other problem is, when he plays this combo in the 2 and the 7, he's got no idea where the 2 balls are going to end up, unless he just goes all out and plays this gentle, or gentle enough to drop the 7 in, and the cue ball comes off the bottom rail so that the 2 is there or thereabouts near that corner pocket. Well, in the end he's made a right hash of that. That was back to the drawing board with that shot, Jose. Well, we know the 4 ball goes, so Semi doesn't need to run into this 8 and 4. He just wants to avoid them. And he's managed to hold it no problem. Once again, he's running into the 8 ball. The other problem is where the 6 ball is, and getting from the 6 back down to this 7, so it's not as clear cut as it might look. So, well, he's managed to avoid the 8. I thought he had too much angle, and I think he's pretty straight here as well. So here's the shot that should probably decide the rack, and he's going to have a nice angle to get up the table, and he doesn't want to overcook it, because he could easily drop behind that 9, but he's got to make sure he gets high enough. Well, is the commentator's curse going to get him? No, it's not. Again, we've got to remember this is a 1 loss side match, so it's only a race to 11. And Semi-Pro has now, well, he's now regained this 2 rack lead, and Jose is going to have to work again, but he can't be making mistakes. So we've had, what did we lose there? We've lost to 5, we've lost to 7. He's got nothing dead easy in the 1, and the other problem's the wrong angle as well, so he's going to have to run this cue ball, and he's going to find it difficult to avoid traffic. Well, he's went for the bank. That's a great shot. That's a cracking shot. He's got to take advantage of it though. I mean, you can play 1 good shot in the rack, but you've got to back yourself. I keep saying that. You go all out for it, you've got to follow it through. That'll need to run. He's going to have to keep running, and I don't think he's got there. No, it's going to have to be a kick. A kick and cross your fingers. That's the advisable technique for this shot. Just kick the ball, give it a bash and hope you get lucky. And he hasn't. So now it's crisis time again for Jose. If Semi can take this out, and again there's no reason why he shouldn't. Wide open. Well, look where he's finished in the 4, and he's hung up the 3. And this is a bit like deja vu from the first part of the match. Semi got a 3-1 lead, made a couple of mistakes, and allowed Jose back into it, and he's at it again. But it's not over yet. Still got to clear the table and get the job done. But these are the things that you've got to just take the advantage, especially now that Jose is trailing again. Cannot afford an error. His head's on the chopping block every shot he plays. I'll have a quick drink. That needs to just bounce. Oh, he sort of chickened out in that, didn't he? You've got to get into 100%, and again it's a silly mistake. He chickened out in it. You can see that. You've got to get that into the hole, and that is a bad error. It's now 6-3, table at his mercy. Well, it's going a bit like I thought it would. Jose's going to make mistakes, and he is going to make some silly ones from time to time, and that's another one in his list. And now Semi-Pro's got himself in a position that most players do. Once you get yourself in front in these matches, it's just about biding your time. You don't need to push the boat out, you just need to wait on your opportunities. You've built up a lead, you've took advantage of your opponent's errors, and you don't need to do silly things like what Semi-Pro's just did there. Good evening. Well, Semi-Pro, I think he's well versed in the scratching technique, but that'd be okay for the end of a cowboy match, but it's not much good in a 9-ball match, and it's cost him a couple of racks. But again, Jose is messing about here. You cannot miss a ball with ball in hand. That is sacrilege. Yes, good evening and welcome. I don't recognise that name again, and if I've been told who it is, I haven't a clue. I can't remember. Or Semi having to kick that in. That was a good shot. Relying on luck to have a shot in the 6. But he's going to get one attempt at the bank here, possibly. Doesn't look as if he's playing it though. It looks as if he's coming across the 6, or he's trying to find a line. Oh, aye, mooncake, yeah. Lots of inside English to help that cue ball go back to the left, and he's got good cover, and I think that 7 ball's ruined the line for the kick here. Let's have a quick look at that one. No, I think he's okay. He can go to that middle diamond or just to the right of it, and again it's a big target, this 6 ball. Big target in that corner. He's bound to hit it, and then again he might not. Well, Jose's come off the rails here in his last few visits, and it's at the wrong time. Well, the 8 ball is the one to get on. Yep. Got to hug the rail. And it's, well, it should be 7-4, sorry, 7-3. A semi-pro now, just needs to mark time. Break goes back to Jose. And, well, he's made one too many silly mistakes, silly shots here, Jose, costing him severely. So the 4 and 5 have gone, and that 1 ball isn't going anywhere. He's trying to squeeze it past the 2. It was always going to be tight. Now, I don't think Semi can get to that. It's so deep in the pocket that even if he tries to spin, he's trying to spin it round, he might miss it. Yeah, I don't think he could get to it. Well, it's another chance for Jose, but his odds are quite long, bearing in mind where the 7 ball is. That's going to be the tough one to get good on, and he certainly doesn't really want to be playing it from the top side. He might end up having to, though. We've got to get up the table off this. Well, he is going to be playing it from the bottom side, and he'll have no problem getting onto the 8 ball from it, though. I think he's maybe ended up a bit straight though here. He's going to have to punch this in. Well, he's spun it right round and he's gone top side. So now the objective is to get over to that right hand side. He's got to keep going. Well, if he just rolls it down gentle, he's going to leave himself a highish cut in the 9. Well, he's got it with a wee bit of spin, but he cannot make a blunder like he's done in those last couple of racks here. He has to put this away. Well, he's got 1 back, but of course the alternate break puts it back to semi-pro, still with a 3 rack lead and in a very strong position. And that's a good break. And well, the 6 ball's gone. He does have a shot in the 1, but it's a tight one, and he's going to nudge into that 3, and if he hits that 3 on the wrong side, he'll lock himself out behind the 8, so I don't think he fancies it. He's maybe trying a billiard here. He's looking at the line. There's a good line for a billiard onto that 9 off the 1. Well, he's gone all out for it, but he's played it well. He's avoided the nudge off the 3 behind the 8. Yeah, Semi's a lot more familiar with this size of table than Jose is. Oh, the 8-ball Scotch doubles is about to start. I'm beginning to get tired. Well, this is a little tester. This isn't a gimme. And this is another awkward one. You know, I'll be grabbing a pillow in about 15 minutes time, I can assure you, or whenever this finishes. I'll be grabbing my pillow and going to Beddy by land. And it's a clinical finish. Getting the job done is what it's all about. And Semi-Pro has got a comfortable lead, 8 racks to 4. Well, Jose is hoping for a miracle. Well, look at the 2-ball, look at the 9, and Jose's going to be nailed in a second or two, and he's in dire straits now. He can't get to kick that 1 from that side, he's too tight to the 6 surely, and the 3-ball's a blocker on that side. He's going to have to, he could pick a line around the corner pocket there, but he's insisting on going this way. Yeah, I think you need to change the laws of physics to get to that 1-ball from that side. And well, is Semi-Pro going to do the simple thing, pot the 1, kill the cue ball, line the 2 and the 9 and get this rack over with? Yep, he's going straight for the jugular, no messing about, and a good safety again gets the reward, having Jose nailed behind the 6, giving him no shot, and that's how you take your opponent down. You get downright nasty is what it takes. Right, good evening, Tin. So we're into rack number whatever it is now. What rack are we in? I can't count, my brain shut down. 9, 10, what, rack 14 or something like that. And Semi-Pro with a 5 rack lead. Now is he going to try something ambitious here onto that 6-ball? Nope, just looking for cover. Hasn't quite got it, left a pot on as a matter of fact. 1-ball goes past the 9, no problem. 2-ball over the left middle pocket, but that cue ball's going to be kind of across the table, and he's held it well. But again, there's trouble ahead for Jose. The 4-ball is going nowhere fast where it's sitting, although he could, well, he's going to probably end up playing it. It's going to be like a 4-8-6 combo to keep this run going if he doesn't get too ambitious. If he just takes his medicine and rolls the 3 in, he's going to give himself a chance of that, albeit a sort of long odd shot. But he could also try and lock up behind the 8, but the danger with that is it may well be an easy kick for Semi-Pro, so Jose has to be clear in what he's going to try. And in the end, I don't think he was really sure about what he was doing there, because again he's just decided to play it. I don't know whether he tried to play some sort of combo, but it's all gone wrong again. And if Semi-Pro can get across the table and up for that 5, he should be home and dry in this rack. So it's looking very likely that this is a step too far for Jose in this tournament. But what it also means is there's an awful lot of mean dudes on that one loss side. So whoever wins this tournament is going to come up against some tough opponents, whether it be from the winner's side or the one loss side. I want to buy this game, but online works. Well, you can download the game and the online game free of charge. If you go to what is it? Well, if you just Google Virtual Pool 4, it should bring up the website, and you can click on the tabs and you'll find Virtual Pool 4, and you can download, or you can register your account and download the online game. If you just create an account, at least it allows you to try the game online. And then if you want more options, semi-pro, just combo in the 9 and the match is over. Well, that was quick. So it's a comfortable win for semi-pro. He wins the match 11 racks to 4, and I don't know, as I say, I haven't checked the bracket to see who he's going to play next. It won't be an easy one, and well, Jose gets to try another time. Too many mistakes that cost him. He was hanging in there in those early racks, but then he came off the rails big time with too many silly mistakes, and semi-pro comfortably wins 11 racks to 4. The free trial, no, it's not a free trial, it's the online game. The only limitation you have is you can only play in a challenge room. I think it's the garage, and you only have what is it, 9 ball and 8 ball. You can't play snooker, you can't play any of the other games, and you can't create a match room, and you can't have a private room. But it's worthwhile trying it online, just so you can try the game if you haven't tried it. And then if you I mean, the one thing when you play online, once you start playing players like semi-pro, if you haven't played a lot of virtual pool in the past, then you'll meet some pretty mean players online. If you bought the offline game, you would be able to play with tracking lines and all that sort of stuff, but you don't have that online. It's all about learning how to play it, and many of us have played it for years, so there's quite a lot of experience online. But then you can also set a room online for a certain level of player, so that you restrict who gets into your room, so you can play players of your own level, which is probably worthwhile doing, because if you go in too deep too quickly, a lot of players find they're well in over their heads against some of the guys you'll meet online. So you've got to be careful with that. But you know, lots of us have played this game and games like it like 20 years, so there's a lot of experienced players you may well meet, but it's worth a try. You can just download the game, create an account, download the online, and you'll be online within 5 minutes. Well, after that, folks, it was short and sweet. It was unexpected, but semi-pro goes through and he marches on to fight another day. I'm going to bed. I will bid you good night, take care, and again, ignore what Boris says. If you're living in England, don't go jumping around the countryside. Boris is off his head. Stay at home, stay safe, and keep your distance, and I will see you again sometime in the future, whenever that might be. So until then, good night, and thanks again for joining.